Hey everyone, welcome to the very first lesson on virtual online course creation, and this is going to help you into organizing your content for what you're going to be teaching online to your students. Okay, now I titled this sample course Model United Nations Simulation. However, this will be titled according to what your unit is on. Okay. Now, if you are already familiar with backwards design, this might be review, but it's very necessary to look at how you're going to structure your course content. If you're new to backwards design, this is going to help very much, not just for structuring your online course during this month that you have off, but it's also going to help you in terms of your planning for scheduling units when you get back to school. So we're going to start with looking at, if this is a timeline of the actual course, what is it that we want students to do by the end? Okay, so after we've already listed out what those big understandings are for a particular course we're designing, we're gonna wanna put at the end, well, how are students going to demonstrate that? So in this particular case, when it comes to students demonstrating understanding of how to research, how to gather that research, put together a proposal, and how to have a conference, well, by the end, the summative assessment, that last piece, is that students are going to have a Model United Nations conference. Okay, now in this particular conference, they will be representing countries in different groups, and those delegates will then be speaking with other delegates to come up with a joint resolution for how to address the coronavirus. Now, I'm making this applicable to real world. It's good for you to also make your course applicable to something in the real world, and then work backwards from there. So, at the end, they're responsible for this. Well, how are we going to get them there? And that will then be these three big pieces. So what are those three big assignments they're going to have to do related to that? And then what are the different lessons to teach so that we can get them there? So I know that I'm going to be grading them on these three particular assessments. Okay? The same is for your virtual course. We will talk then about how they submit those assignments in a virtual setting. So number 3 is they are going to have a speech that they will write, and that speech is essentially going to be their country's position on this issue. It's going to incorporate a lot of research, but they're going to have to weed that research down into just a short 1-minute speech that they will be presenting at the conference itself. So that's, I put the last thing they're going to do. Now, to get there, they're also going to have a proposal. Now, the proposal is in a very formal format. There's a lot of standards that we're going to hit along the way. It's going to be 1.5 pages to 2 pages. It's going to state their country's position on the issue of the coronavirus and what past action it's taken when it comes to health-related emergencies. So that's going to involve a lot of work to get to that stage. So there will be lessons along the way to get there. Now, to get there to that proposal, of course, they're going to have research cards due. Now, this is all the research that they have conducted that they will need to conduct to get to the proposal. And of course, there's going to be a lot of lessons that are related to how to be a good researcher, how to gather information, how to take those notes. And then as teachers, we know, okay, these are the 3 things that we are going to ask them to submit in that shared virtual platform. These are the lessons that are going to help teach them how to get that stuff organized and gathered. And we're going to get to this very end where they'll have that conference, which will be what they've accomplished at the end of the course. This is all stuff that you can include in the course and in a nice, simple, maybe 1.5 to 2 page little explanation as to what they will be doing during that month of that virtual teaching. Okay? So that's our very first lesson. The next lesson that you're going to get is how do we fill in the lessons to get to these big summative pieces. Then the next one after that will be how do we load that into our virtual platform. Whatever virtual platform that you're using, might be Google Classroom. I'm going to use Teachable to show you how to load it in there because it's quite easy as well. All right, so I will see you then for the next lesson. I hope this has been very informative for you.